So today on Future Cities Africa, I speak with engineer John Tanui, who is the CEO of the Konza Technopolis Development Authority. It's a semi-autonomous government agency tasked with building Kenya's first smart techno city, whose aim is to create a new economic drive for the nation aimed at advancing Kenya's global role in innovation, technology, and the knowledge economy. John, can you just elaborate a bit more about yourself, your role at Konza Technopolis Development Authority, and then actually the Konza Technopolis?
I am the CEO of Konza Technopolis Development Authority. This is the agency established by the Kenyan government to implement its first smart city, which is a project part of the national transformation under what we call Vision 2030, which is meant to transform our country's economy. The transformation program are three key pillars: political, social, and economic. And each of these key pillars are flagship projects. And within the economic pillar, Konza Technopolis is one of the flagship projects. And the objective is to bring in a new economic driver for our economy, especially on engineering, engineering, ICT, and life sciences. So this will make a contribution towards the country's enhancement in innovation, technology, and knowledge economy. So we are implementing this project of a smart city, a place of innovation, as part of the nation's agenda.
We'll be speaking today about the impact of COVID-19 on smart cities. What's your worst nightmare for the Konza Technopolis with regards to this pandemic?
One of the highest concern I have, of course, is the issue of people being affected, infection levels. So my biggest concern within my project is the people living there, the workers, the stakeholders I'm involved, should any one of them be infected. So that's the highest concern. And the second is the consequence and impact of this. We've seen the impact on individuals. There are some who have unfortunately lost their lives in other regions and even within our country. And impact in terms of our economy, our plans for these great projects that we have across the globe. So personally, those are the biggest concern, is the impact on individuals, the impact on our plans, the impact on our economy, and the consequences in terms of our way of life, because it is greatly impacting the way we live.
And with rapid urbanization being one of the key drivers for smarter city development, for improving city services, do you think this pandemic might be slowing down rapid urbanization, or maybe stop it for the shorter term, where people decide, they do not want to be moving into the cities, because those seems to be the epicenters of this pandemic? I know the airline industry, they are predicting that it will take them many, many years to get back to the level of passengers that they had now. Do you think the same thing will be happening to our cities, to your cities in Kenya and in Africa?
This pandemic is going to have serious impact in our economies, impact in our way of life, because the consequence or the circumstances in which we live now is really unusual. We have had to limit our movements. We had to control our way of interactions. We have had to reshape how things are done. And this, as much as we are hoping that this issue will stabilize soon, even if the solution and cure is achieved, the concern of safety, health concerns will live with us for a long time. And this will impact our decisions in the way we live. In respect to Kenya and Africa and many emerging countries, of course, one of the big concerns is the unplanned settlements that we have in many parts of our cities. And this is an opportunity that we need to relook. And especially in Africa, I think urbanization is not going to stop. It will continue, but it will continue in a different way. because now we must care for our people in respect to how they live. We must have sufficient space densities, because densities has been one of the biggest concerns in the unplanned settlements within our country and cities. So it does not present a situation that the future of urbanization will slow down. I don't see that slowing down in Kenya, in Africa, because of other reasons, because this is still economic drivers of nations. Cities are economic drivers for our nations. These cities are still the best locations to serve people. There will be even requirements to be closer to good health amenities, health facilities. So cities are still the best platforms to provide this. So it will not slow, but it will change the mode. And in fact, we can see more development, because we must address the unplanned settlements which are already there in the first place to correct it.
Absolutely. And there's no way of going back to normal. There will be a new normal. And it is, even though we are in a crisis, it is exciting to see what this new normal can look like. Is there a specific belief that you had about the future of our cities, our smart cities, smarter cities in Africa, a belief that might have changed now? Or has this maybe confirmed a specific belief that you've had?
In contrast, it has enhanced my belief and the importance of smart, resilient, sustainable cities. I think it is the way to go. We are looking from Konza Technopolis that we are at the infancy, at the take-off stage. We just having a small population because we are still at the construction stage, where we have a small population now of about 1,000 people. So with this, we are able to see in terms of infrastructure we have in place, the buildings we have in place, and say and realizing that resilient inbuilt sustainability in smart cities is very useful to address pandemics. For example, the building that we are using, which is a green certified building, there is limited points of contact, because within the lift, they clearly define how you enter the lift. The lighting are automated, you do not need to switch. So washing common areas is automated. So you already see some inbuilt aspects in resilient and smart cities that are going to support better living in the new normal that we are going, because hygiene will remain probably a very important key aspect. Our buildings and cities will have to be fitted with some automation, whether it is sensing our temperatures, limited points to touch, so that entering a lift is automated. You select the lift where you want to go. The services, there is minimal contact points. Washing area to be automated, so that you are complying with hand hygiene. So I can see so many inbuilt aspects in smart cities that will make that dream, what we envision of a smart city, becoming real. The thing that will change definitely is densities in urban development, because people would prefer a better space. Because people might still spend some more time at their homes. People are looking even at the designs of a home, because now you find several hours, you are working from home, you are operating from home. So there are many, a few changes in how our urban settlement and homes will look like, because we'll have almost a combination of work at home. Might not change for a long time. We will have a percentage of our work working from home, and people are finding even there is more advantage. You can still deliver and you are at home.
It is like the smart city concept has actually been preparing us for a situation like this without us even knowing about the preparations. Your industry and the clients that you work with, has any of them been impacted in a very negative way? And how are you coping with that?
For our scenario where we are actually at a very active stage of construction and building the city. A number of facilities are under construction, parts of roads are under construction, and some buildings are being built. So we have a lot of activity going on. So first is under these circumstances, how do you put the guidelines in operation? How do you ensure that there is compliance, because there is a lot of health guidelines that have been provided that you need to comply so that you can still continue with the basic services as a city or in the development, social distancing that is required, wearing of a mask, compliance with hygiene, sanitization, washing of hands, separation in transportation, because so this we've had to experience a number of readjustments in the way we do things. It has had to add impact in changing our logistics, where you are using maybe 10 buses to bring people. You had to double to increase that number to achieve the separation in social distancing. We also had to introduce aspects like which before was not there, like sanitizing the transportation vehicles immediately after use, and at times even before use. So there has been a number of impacts on our change to ensure we comply with such requirements. So the other important thing is the people themselves, the residents, to feel comfortable, because at this scenario is that individuals actually, it goes to a personal need to feel safe. And so if they are not satisfied with the infrastructure, the arrangement you have put in place to guarantee their safety, whether if there are health providers there, because you have to increase the number of health providers, the workers, the people involved, the actors. So it is a matter of also making sure what you are doing, you are also able to communicate and get a good feedback that they are satisfied with the processes you have put in place, the controls you have put in place, to ensure they can feel safe and to reduce any impact. And within our project, within Konza Technopolis, up to now, we are very proud to say we have put those processes in place. We've had good communication and engagement with the stakeholders, and we've not had an incident to date. And this is something we have to monitor every day. It becomes a new priority to the CEOs and the leaders of organizations, and also the stakeholders. Now it becomes the top level number one agenda of a CEO is the safety of your people.
Absolutely. And just finally, are there any words of encouragement that you have for smart city industry stakeholders, although involved in preparing our cities for the future? Some of them might not feel as confident as the conversation, that we've been having. Do you have any words of encouragement and wisdom to share with them?
First, I would think the first priority for every leader of a smart city is to ensure the safety of the residents and the stakeholders. This is our first priority, to ensure that we have put systems in place, we have put programs in place, we have engaged experts in various fields to ensure that their safety first is guaranteed. People need to feel safe and secure, and they need to get this even from the experts that are involved. So this is the first thing, and the encouragement that I would give to every leader is to do this, and to make it the first priority of every leader at this stage is the safety and the health of the people involved. Secondly is to look at opportunities that are coming, because the smart cities, if you look at the standards and the guidelines that require development of smart cities, we have so many advantages that actually make smart cities the best place to be. One is we have adopted what we are calling the mixed use development way, so that the distance that you need to travel from your office to residence is limited. So this is some of the factors that new cities need to factor in, so that there will be limited traveling. And this is actually an inbuilt sustainability and resilience of a smart city. The other is smart cities are supposed to have a solid IT platform that will provide efficient and effective service delivery. So with the smart city platform in new cities, it will ensure there is minimal contact, there is automation, there is ease of engagement and collaboration using an IT platform. And what we are doing even in our project Konza Technopolis now is because we have set up our first IT platform system, which is now ready. And we are availing now this even to the rest of government, because we are a government agency developing a new city. This IT platform to be now the digital platform for the country and for the enterprises, because now we have a lot of collaboration meetings on IT platform. There are concerns of safety and security, and people want to feel comfortable that their data are inbuilt and hosted within their jurisdiction. So it's also opportunities for smart cities to ensure they have solid digital platforms that can give comfort for the citizens to engage and interact and ensure and feel safe within within the city. So it's also an opportunity that we can relook also on future, what new, because I believe out of this we will have new ideas to add to the smart cities to ensure that we become a preferred location, because I believe the future cities must be smart cities and must factor in such scenarios. So if you are not a smart city, probably you'll be looking like the previous one, the way we look at the planned settlements in our countries at the moment.